We're interviewing Mr. Buxton at Buxton Books. Come on in. Hi, I'm Kristina Blake from the Autism News Network, and I'm joined today by Julian Buxton and Mark Landis from Buxton Books on King Street. Hi, how are y'all doing?
Doing well, thank you.
So, my first question is for you, Julian. Do you have a background in history, storytelling, and paranormal studies that helps you?
I do. Well, first of all, I grew up here, so I'm passionate about this area and the history of it. I was a history major in college, and I love that. And as you can tell, as you can find out for a lot of people who work with me, I can't stop telling stories. So that was really the genesis of inspiration for starting this.
Sounds very good.
And for writing this book.
Can you tell us about the book?
Yeah, I can talk all day about it. I wrote it in over 4 years. 1996 is when I started the tour company, and finished in 2000. Well, finished a little bit before 2000. It was published in December of 2000, and it really is a definitive work. I'm proud to say of all those stories in Charleston to this day. I can talk about this book all day long, but I personally love it, and when I wrote it, I was 40 years old, and I wanted to feel really proud of it. By the time I was really old, like 60, I turned 60 last year, so I'm still proud.
How do you keep stories fresh and interesting for repeat participants of those familiar with local legends?
I used to take different routes at times, but also the crowd that you're with, the energy of the crowd inspires you for how to tell the story. And you can connect with the crowd that you're taking around Charleston into the graveyard, which is the highlight of the tour. And you feel what they want, and they will affect your performance.
What inspired you to start writing, and how did you choose your subject for your books?
That's a deeper question. I didn't think I could be a writer. I always wanted to be, but I didn't have the confidence to do it, even though I was really good in school. But I had some real painful experiences when I was 22 years old. It had nothing to do with ghosts. And I realized that I had to write about it to heal from it. And so that's when I discovered that I could write creative writing. It's based on my experiences, but I amplified them through actually the writing. And it was very healing for me. So that's where I realized the power of writing for myself. And then I felt, if I could write something that people wanted to read, then I would feel very fulfilled. And so I've written 3 books. The only one that's been published is this one, that goes to Charleston, which is closing in on 100,000 copies sold.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I really am proud of that. The other one's 646 pages, and it's really bad. Nobody's ever going to see that. It's just not good. But there's another one, 780 pages, that I wrote when I was 28 years old. And that one has a lot of value, but that's the one that I was telling you about earlier that goes deeper. And it has what I like to call emotional lava to it, all the way through it. And so it's hard for me to look at it because it's just too hot. It emotionally burned me sometimes. And so I keep going back to that, and that'll probably be, will publish that soon.
That would be good to see that finally be published.
Thank you. It will. It'll be a lot of work, which writing is, but it's also a lot of joy and redemption. Thank you for the encouragement.
Can you share some of the themes or ideas that you find most important in your writing?
Yeah. Well, I've always been interested in ghosts. There always has to be one somewhere in the background of some film that to get me interested to keep writing. Even if I'm writing historical stuff, I don't know why, it kind of inspires me. From all societies and from the beginning of time, people have feared the return of the dead. Because if that's true, then it holds us to a higher degree of accountability for how we live our daily lives. Think about that motivates you to be the best you can be. So that's one of the things that inspires me. But also just things that are meaningful to me. Charleston, I like stories, and I like writing about stories where people overcome odds and have very meaningful experiences through their effort and through grace.
Very good information to know. What inspired you to open Buxton Books, and how has the journey been so far for you?
I said I wanted to rebuild my tour company, which I pulled back on for a while, and I wanted to write more books. And I asked her, I've always wanted to have an independent bookstore in downtown Charleston. We both just dismissed that right out of hand. It's too expensive downtown. Bookstore would never make a living for us. And we forgot about it until a few years later when I found a place near Fleet Landing. And we both are interested in literature and books and how books connect people. We thought of having community events. We wanted it to be a community bookstore that brought people together and have events and have great authors come to Charleston. We knew we had to sell books and get known to do that. That took a lot of hard work. We both through some people very talented to work with us. They will bring some of the best writers in the country, in some ways in the world at this point, to our store into Charleston.
That sounds really good. I'm glad y'all had that plan to come up with together.
That was a big dream. It was kind of far out there when we first started, but it's being realized, and that is sometimes I want to pinch myself that it's actually happening, but it is.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time with me.
Yes, thank you. It was an honor. Great opportunity. Thank you.